Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another edition of Science Monitor, a program that keeps you updated on all that's happening in the world of science and technology. I'm Teena Jha. As always, let's begin with the headlines. The 41st Jawaharlal Nehru National Science, Mathematics and Environment Exhibition concluded in Chandigarh. Student from Tripura develops new technology to search for objects in deep and dirty water. The Krishi Shakti tractor developed by CSIR launched. Researchers discover the first nesting site of white-bellied herons in India. And our focus today will be on the need of energy-efficient green buildings in the contemporary times. And now news in detail. The 41st Jawaharlal Nehru National Science, Mathematics and Environment Exhibition for Children 2014, organized by the NCERT, recently concluded in Chandigarh. About 400 participants attended the week-long exhibition, in which 190 exhibits on various topics were displayed. The objective of the exhibition was to promote interest towards science among young children. Here's a report.
The 41st Jawaharlal Nehru National Science, Mathematics and Environment Exhibition for Children 2014, organized by the National Council of Educational Research and Training, that is NCERT, recently concluded in Chandigarh. While the central theme of the exhibition this year was scientific and mathematical innovations, this year's exhibition also focused on 4 sub-themes, namely agriculture, energy, health, environment and resources. The event that lasted for a week from 11th to 17th November saw the participation of around 400 participants, including children and their teachers from across the country. Nearly 190 innovative exhibits on various topics were displayed during the exhibition.
This exhibition is basically meant to send the message or motivate the children from school stage about the awareness about the science, mathematics and environment. But that is not the only purpose. We want to inform the masses also and involve them in the thinking process about science, mathematics and environment. And moreover, during these exhibitions, children make different innovations. They bring out different ideas about the exhibits that they are developing relating to science and mathematics.
While the participants also presented cultural programs showcasing life and culture of different regions of the country, laser, film and robotics shows were also organized for the children. According to the organizers, around 50,000 children along with their parents and teachers visited the exhibition this year. It was started by the NCERT in 1971 as the National Science Exhibition for Children.
National Council of Education Research and Training started in 1971, initially with University Grants Commission, when we were in the CSIR, NPL laboratories in Delhi. In 72, we collaborated with the Jawaharlal Nehru Fund, Memorial Fund, and then we started at Teen Murti Bhavan. It remained in Delhi up till 1978. And in 1979, we started coming out from Delhi. So the first exhibition which took place after, outside Delhi was in Mumbai in 1979. And since then, we have almost covered all the states.
The exhibition aims to popularize science and mathematics among school children, highlighting environmental and other issues, and to promote scientific temper and mathematical abilities among Indian students. The exhibition acts as a platform for students to exhibit their creativity, knowledge and ideas in the form of science and mathematics models, and also provides them a chance to interact with students from other regions, thus strengthening the feeling of national integrity among the children.
This year's exhibition, which lasted for a week, saw the display of many novel devices useful in our day-to-day life. One such was the drowned article searcher, which has been developed by a student from Tripura. How does this novel device help search drowned objects in deep and dirty water? Let's find out in this report.
The 41st Jawaharlal Nehru National Science, Mathematics and Environment Exhibition for Children 2014 was indeed a splendid platform where school students displayed their innovative exhibits on various topics. While these exhibits were based on very simple resources and affordable technologies, they were designed with great thought in terms of application in our day-to-day life. One such exhibit that was an attraction at the exhibition was the Drowned Article Searcher. Created by a school student from Tripura under the guidance of his teacher, the Drowned Article Searcher helps the search and retrieval of lost objects in deep and muddy waters in tanks and ponds. Sarkar's Drowned Article Searcher is based on very simple and easily available materials. The device consists of a long pipe with a convex lens fitted on one end to prevent the entry of water into the pipe. An LED bulb is fitted inside the pipe towards the lens end and controlled using a switch at the top portion of the pipe. When immersed in water and looked through, the illuminated pipe makes the object drowned in muddy water visible and helps retrieve lost objects.
मेरे ये मॉडल का नाम है ड्राउन आर्टिकल सर्चर, जो कि मैंने एक खास कर बनाया है सर्च करने के लिए, जैसे कि क्राइम इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो, कोई क्लू ढूंढना हो पुलिस और सीआईडी वालों को, तो ये काम आता है। क्योंकि कोई भी वाटर रिलेटेड कोई केस हो, उन्हें सुलझाना हो, तो वो अपने गोताखोरों को पानी के नीचे भेजता है कोई क्लू ढूंढने के लिए। तो वहाँ पर उनको खतरा भी होता है पानी के नीचे, तो 2 to 3 घंटे भी लग जाता है। तो उनको एक्स्ट्रा ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर्स, एक्स्ट्रा ग्लासेस ला के जाना पड़ता है नीचे। तो मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि मेरा ये मॉडल जो है वो पानी के ऊपर रहकर ही काम कर लेता है, बिना पानी के नीचे जाए हुए।
According to Sarkar, he was motivated to create this device after finding it difficult to search for his bicycle key, which he lost in his village pond. A very simple and low technology device, the Drowned Article Searcher uses minimum energy and is pollution-free.
Majority of the farming population in India owns only small areas of farming land. As a result, while these farmers find it difficult to afford large tractors, it is also not viable to use large tractors on small farming lands. In order to overcome these issues, scientists of CSIR have developed a new, smaller version of tractors which can be easily used on small farming lands. Take a look at this report.
In order to promote agriculture and facilitate farming, especially among the farmers with only small farming lands, CSIR, Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute, CSIR CMERI, located in Durgapur, recently launched a small tractor called Krishi Shakti. Krishi Shakti is a compact and easily maneuverable tractor of rating 10 to 12 horsepower, which is appropriate for use in small and fragmented land holdings.
Basically, the normal tractor which are so far manufactured in this country, particularly Swaraj and also Sonalika, this is a high power tractor. That means fuel consumption is more per hectare, fuel consumption is more. But this is for the farmer demand. Our scientists are looking into these aspects, how the small land area can be cultivated or can be cultivated with your small radius. It can turn easily, and also size is very small and total weight also is very less, so fuel consumption is also very less. So 10 liters fuel consumption per hectare cultivation.
While Indian economy primarily relies on agriculture, majority of the farming population in India are small-time farmers who own only small farming lands. It is estimated that about 85% farming households cultivate only about 36% of entire cultivable land in the country, and the average land holding of the small Indian farmer normally does not exceed even 1 hectare. Under such circumstances, farmers often find it difficult to afford large tractors of 35 horsepower and above ratings. Also, the larger tractors are often found unsuitable for smaller areas of land. In this context, there has been a growing demand for smaller tractors. Krishi Shakti tractor and its implements have been designed based on available diesel engine and available tractor parts in the market. The first prototype of the tractor was launched way back on 17 December 2005 by the then Director General CSIR and Secretary DSIR Dr. R.A. Mashelkar. CSIR CMERI's Krishi Shakti that has been launched in response to growing demands of small farmers for small tractors offers tremendous hope for affording farm mechanization and increasing the yield of small and distributed farming lands.
Now, Indian researchers have for the first time discovered the nesting site of the extremely rare white-bellied heron in Arunachal Pradesh. This is the only nesting site of these birds in India. It is estimated that there are only 250 white-bellied herons left in the world, of which 50 are in India.
Indian researchers for the first time have discovered the nesting site of the extremely rare white-bellied herons in India. The nesting site, which is the only one in India, has been discovered in a remote part of the Namdapar Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh. The discovery has been made by a team of researchers from the Zoological Survey of India under the leadership of Dr. Gopinathan Maheshwaran. The discovery is the result of a 3-year study conducted on white-bellied herons to understand the foraging behavior of these birds, funded by the Department of Science and Technology. The nest of the bird was found about 18 meters above ground on an East Indian almond tree adjacent to a dry riverbed covered in tall grass and small shrubs in the Namdapar Tiger Reserve in Arunachal Pradesh. White-bellied herons, also known as imperial heron and scientifically known as Ardea insignis, is a rare bird species on the verge of extinction. International Union for Conservation of Nature has declared these birds as critically endangered species. It is estimated that there are only 250 white-bellied herons left in the world and only about 50 left in India. Before the discovery of the nesting site in India, it was believed that only Bhutan has a breeding population of the white-bellied heron. White-bellied herons are grey in color with white throat and underparts. These are extremely shy birds which live in wetland habitats and feed on fish in clear, fast-flowing rivers.
European Space Agency's Philae lander, which created history by landing on the surface of the comet 67P Churyumov Gerasimenko last week after rigorous exploration, has exhausted its battery. Though the contact of the probe with Earth station is broken currently, Philae during its functioning has gathered large amount of crucial data. According to researchers, once the probe comes in contact with sunlight, it will recharge itself and start functioning once again. Here's a report.
Completing 60 hours of exploration on the surface of Comet 67P, European Space Agency space probe Philae has shut down after exhausting its battery. Philae stopped working at 7:36 p.m. Eastern Time on 15th November. While the battery has drained earlier than the expected 64 hours of operation, the probe has gathered crucial information about the organic molecules present on the comet. Philae has transmitted all the data it had collected to the Earth station before its connection broke. The quick draining of power of the probe is being attributed to the glitches it faced while landing on the comet from its mothership Rosetta. While Philae landed, due to the failure of the thrusters to fire, it bounced off the ground several times instead of anchoring. As a result, the probe ended up anchoring in a shadier area than the original target landing spot. Philae is charged by solar panel. The lack of enough light in the shady landing point caused the probe to run out of power quicker than expected. Scientists had also tried to reposition the probe but with little effect. While Philae probe has shut down, the spacecraft Rosetta continues to orbit the comet while the comet is approaching the Sun. Scientists are hopeful that when the comet comes nearer to the Sun, Philae's solar panels will recharge itself using the sunlight and the probe will start functioning again. The space probe Philae, launched by the European Space Agency, made history when it successfully landed on the surface of the comet 67P 50 million kilometers away from Earth on 12th November 2014. Philae was deployed by spacecraft Rosetta in order to understand the history of the solar system. Philae landed on the smaller lobe of the comet 67P while Rosetta continues to follow and study the comet and its environment. The 220-pound lander, Philae, carries 10 instruments and has been designed to make in situ measurements on the surface of the comet, including soil collection through drilling.
Well, it's time for us to take a short break on the program. We'll be right back with more stories. In today's age of rapid industrialization and technological progress, judicial use of energy and resources is indeed a big challenge. In this scenario, it is crucial to build energy-efficient buildings so that we can not only conserve energy but also other vital resources. And that's why green and energy-efficient buildings are being promoted on large scale today. What are green buildings and why are they important in the contemporary times? We discuss that in our special segment, In Focus.
The 21st century, needless to say, is characterized by socio-economic revolution brought about by novel technologies and new materials. While the perpetually evolving technologies has acted as a channel for economic growth, crucially influencing and transforming people's lives, it has also created a huge concern with regard to efficient use of resources, especially energy. In this age of rapid industrialization, cities are growing faster than ever before. It is estimated that by 2050 there will be an additional 3 billion people on Earth and 70% of the world's population will be living in cities. It is also estimated that human-erected buildings are the consumers of 40% of the world's energy and are responsible for nearly the same amount of emitted carbon. This is far more than the transportation or industrial sectors. With increasing reports of rapidly depleting energy resources and rising levels of pollution, the world is looking towards novel, efficient and sustainable methods of conserving energy. In this context, the concept of energy-efficient buildings, otherwise known as green buildings, have become the key mantra in conserving energy. An energy-efficient building or a green building refers to a construction that is designed to be resource-efficient and significantly reduce energy consumption. Hence, a green building essentially uses less water, optimizes energy efficiency, conserves natural resources, generates less waste and provides healthier spaces for occupants as compared to a conventional building. Green buildings mainly focus on 4 areas which involve effective use of recyclable materials, conservation of water and judicious use of energy, along with improving indoor environmental quality. India has a rich cultural heritage which teaches us to live in harmony with the nature. Following these principles, with the objective of promoting green buildings in India, the Confederation of Indian Industry in 2001 formed the Indian Green Building Council, which aims to promote the adoption of eco-friendly and green building concepts in the country. As a result, today there are many energy-efficient green buildings in India. A fine example of green building in India is the Indira Paryavaran Bhavan located in Jorbagh, New Delhi. Indira Paryavaran Bhavan is the project of the Ministry of Environment and Forest for construction of its new office building. The Indira Paryavaran Bhavan is the first of its kind unique building based on the concept of energy efficiency and renewable energy technologies. The building, which is earthquake resistant, has been constructed through the adoption of solar passive design and energy efficient building material. Green materials like fly ash bricks, regional building materials and materials with high recyclable content have been used to construct the building. The outer walls of the building have been made using high reflectance terrace tiles and rock wool insulation to manage the heating and cooling inside the building, while the door frames and shutters of the building has been made using renewable bamboo jute composite material. UPVC windows with hermetically sealed double glass, calcium silicate ceiling tiles with high recyclable content and grass paver blocks in pavements and roads are some other unique features of the Indira Paryavaran Bhavan. You would be surprised to know that in order to provide effective lighting solutions while reducing energy consumption, the building is designed to use 75% of natural daylight and has the largest rooftop solar power system among multi-storied buildings in India. This solar power generation system can meet the energy demands of the entire building. In addition, this building saves 40% energy using an innovative system called chilled beam system of air conditioning. While the building is designed to conserve energy, so it is designed to reduce water consumption. This has been achieved through measures like the use of low discharge water fixtures and recycling of wastewater through sewage treatment plant. Only plants with low water demand have been used for landscaping. Other strategies like the use of geothermal cooling for HVAC system, rainwater harvesting and use of curing compounds during construction also help saving water. In the coming times, buildings like Indira Paryavaran Bhavan can indeed prove to be a model for construction of energy-efficient green buildings. It is interesting to note that while energy-efficient buildings pose architectural challenges, they are highly cost-effective and can prove economically viable in the long run. Needless to say, energy-efficient green building concepts are here to stay, and adoption of these concepts are the need of the hour to ensure a sustainable future.
And what are the contributions of science to this week's history? We will learn in our next segment from the pages of history.
On 24th November 1859, The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection was published in England. This book, written by Charles Darwin, was a milestone in the history of science. Through this book, Darwin established that only the species which can adapt to its surrounding environment can survive. Famous Indian physicist Debendra Mohan Bose was born on 26 November 1885. Debendra Bose is known for his study on cosmic rays using photographic emulsion technique and for the usage of compound chamber. Apart from being the longest-serving director of Bose Institute in Calcutta, he served in various reputed institutions of the country at different positions. On 27 November 1857, Sir Charles Scott Sherrington was born. He was an English physiologist and a Nobel laureate. He is known for his work on the role and functions of neurons in our body. Sherrington has been credited for coining the term neurons used in biology. The first pulsar was observed in the space on November 28, 1967. This observation was made by Cambridge's Mullard Radio Astronomy Observatory's assistant Jocelyn Bell Burnell. The pulsar looked like a fast-rotating neutron star in the sky. The rotation cycle of a pulsar ranges usually from 1.57 millisecond to 5.1 seconds.
Let's now take a look at some important science and technology activities happening in India and abroad in our special segment, Science Express.
In a highly encouraging announcement, President Barack Obama has declared that US will contribute $3 billion to the Green Climate Fund to help developing nations deal with climate change. The president announced this while speaking at the University of Queensland in Brisbane before the opening of the G20 summit. The funds are to be used to help vulnerable communities with early warning systems, build stronger defenses against storm surges, and climate-resilient infrastructure. The fund is a part of the pledge taken in 2009, under which rich countries will mobilize $100 billion a year by 2020 to help developing countries tackle carbon emissions. In a major step towards ensuring affordable healthcare and tackling Ebola outbreak, the World Bank has approved $285 million to fight Ebola. The grant has been approved to deploy additional national and international health workers, scale up community-based care and community engagement for early detection of suspected Ebola cases in 3 West African countries, namely Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone. The grant is part of the nearly $1 billion financing previously announced by the World Bank for these countries to tackle Ebola. According to WHO, as of November 14, 2014, 14,413 Ebola cases have been registered in 8 countries since the outbreak, with 5,177 deaths. While Ebola continues to spread across nations, strict preventive measures are being adopted in India to prevent any outbreak. Under this, recently a man who had arrived at the IGI airport Delhi from Liberia has been quarantined and kept in isolation to prevent Ebola outbreak after his semen tested positive for the Ebola virus. According to the doctors, the man is a recovered case of Ebola but is being kept in isolation as he is in the shedding stage and may transmit the virus. The patient will be discharged only after his body fluids test negative and he is found medically fit. This is the first case of Ebola virus reported in India. The third Indo-US Science and Technology Joint Commission meeting was held on November 17, 2014 in New Delhi. The meeting, co-chaired by Sri Y.S. Chowdhury and Dr. John Holdren, focused on science and technology cooperation between the two countries, especially in the areas of global health security and environment monitoring. Discussions were also conducted between the 4 working groups on basic and applied sciences, health and medical sciences, earth, environment and climate sciences, and emerging material and advanced manufacturing. Both countries have agreed to establish a new working group on plant biotechnology and agricultural research to address the issues of global food security. A recent study published in the Science Journal by researchers of the Berkeley University states that global warming may increase lightning strikes by 50% over the next 100 years. According to the study, lightning frequency is expected to increase about 12% for every 1 degree Celsius increase in temperature. Scientists warn that this phenomenon can not only lead to increased incidences of wildfires across the globe, but also more frequent lightning strikes may change the composition of the Earth's atmosphere. According to a recent report by the Internet and Mobile Association of India and IMRB International, India by coming December end will become the second largest internet market in the world. According to the statistics, India's internet using population will grow from 21.3 crore at the end of December last year to 30.2 crores by the end of this year, overtaking even the US market. Currently, China has the largest user base with more than 60 crore internet users, while the US has an estimated 27.9 crore users.
And that's all we have for you in this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us whether you liked our program. Do write to us with your suggestions and feedback on the email ID being displayed on your TV screens, news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write to us at Vigyan Prasar, C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi, 110016. We'll be back same time next week with another brand new edition of Science Monitor. Till then, take very good care. Goodbye.